football picks and bet show on the Mayo Media Network. I am your host, as always, Scott Simpson, and we are presented by PrizePicks. Sign up for PrizePicks using the link in the description below. Code MMN, that's for the Mayo Media Network, and get your deposit doubled up to $100. As we always say, basically free money. Also, while you're here, please like and subscribe to the Mayo Media Network. We're over 30,000 followers. Cha-ching. I love it. And that promo again, MMN. I'm really excited tonight on our show. We have one of my best friends in the fantasy space, and it happens to be his birthday. Happy birthday, the real deal the real deal fantasy on Twitter. Excuse me, there, LQ. Happy birthday, brother. How are you doing?
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. It's my birthday, the 30-30. Feels good. You know, I'm starting to really feel the age, you know, even though I'm not looking like it yet, you know, fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm ready to talk some football, man.
Now, you are looking good. I'm not going to, mix words here. You're a good looking man. Cheers to you, my friend, on your birthday. I'm drinking a little Sierra Nevada celebration. I don't know if you can see it here on the green screen, but you got your water. Yeah, I'll drink this for both of us.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's another year, stronger, more fire content only coming from you. I can't wait to see it. So let's jump right into the slate. We've got a barn burner, AFC West division leading Kansas City Chiefs traveling. All of a sudden they're good again. I was like, what happened to them? They're supposed to suck. That was the narrative. They're back. They're in first place in the AFC West. Going into LA, Chargers are 8-5, one game back. What do you think about this game? How's this game unfold? After the last game, the Chargers, they kind of started the tailspin, or maybe didn't start it, but kind of gave the death knell blow, which everyone was like, oh, wow. The Chargers beat the Chiefs. How do you think the Chiefs rebound?
I think they bounce back. I think, Mahomes is in the rhythm now. He's getting his groove back. I honestly got to say, it's just the beginning of the season, man. They just getting all the kinks out, guys are getting back into routine. So I'm not holding too much weight into that first matchup, but I think it's going to be a good game. It's going to be, very intense. Like I always say, man, division games are different from, any other game because they play each other twice a year, every year. So it's like, man, this is going to be one of the most electric games probably this season.
Yeah, and that second matchup is always a little bit tighter, a little bit tougher.
Yep.
A little bit nastier than the first. So anything can really happen in this matchup. Let's jump into the PrizePicks. Code MMN if you're following along. The link is in the description to sign up. Use that promo code. Get the Mayo Media Network. A little bit of cha-ching. Me and my man LQ appreciate it. So is Pat Mayo and the rest of the crew. All right, let's talk about the passing yards to start off with. I mean, when I first saw these, I actually thought they were a little bit low, but then I did adjust for the defensive matchup second time going around. Pat Mahomes, 270 and a hook, and then Justin Herbert, a little bit surprising, a little higher, 285 and a hook. Either one of these more appealing to you?
It's a little weird that, Herbert's a little higher than Mahomes, but I honestly like Mahomes for the over here for the 270 and a hook. Herbert's a little high for my taste, even though Jalen Guyton, him are connecting downfield for the big plays. Like he's getting at least 2 to 3 attempts to him, with the long balls, 20 plus yards. So it looks good, but I'm not going to bank on him throwing like 300 plus yards in this game. So I'm going to take, what's the easy money right here. And that's Mahomes for over 270 in the hook.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go with that one as well. And the reason I'm kind of a little skeptical on Herbert, and we'll look at it later in some of the PrizePicks, his receivers are questionable. We got Keenan Allen back off the COVID list, which is great. Mike Williams is questionable. Parham is questionable. Eckler is questionable. So a lot of the friends that, you're going to rely on to get you downfield. You talk about Guyton, but you got some of the big names that are questionable. So even with the game being less than, I guess, 2 days away right now, things are up in the air. But with that being said, things could change. You get a couple of healthy designations, but I'm going to go with Mahomes in this matchup as well. What do you think about the passing completions for Patty Mahomes there? 25 over under. Where are you going on this one?
It is a tad a bit high. I do think, it's going to be a tight game. It's going to be one of those games that we saw, with the Rams. Had to throw them in, and the Cardinals where, both of them guys basically threw for the over. So I'm going to go, with Mahomes here with the over the 25 completions.
Yeah, I like that. I think in this matchup, you saw what they did on the ground in the last matchup, and that was against a Raiders team that was just terrible. And I don't think they're going to be in that same type of position where they just can run the football, or they're going to be, and even in that position, they didn't run the football that much compared to, other teams. So just for them, it was a little more run heavy. But no, I do like Pat Mahomes in the over on the 25. Let's talk about some rushing totals here. We only have a few. We got a Pat Mahomes and Austin Eckler and a CEH. It's Clyde Edwards-Helaire for all those newcomers. Which one of these numbers is your favorite?
My favorite is the CEH 47 and a hook. Put up 100 yards last time they faced each other, which is amazing for him to have that type of volume, that type of yards per carry. And I feel as though, 47 and a hook is a little low for him. I feel as though that's definitely achievable by it. But my second runner-up would definitely be Eckler with that 51 and a hook as well. I mean, Eckler is in the ballpark of that almost every other week. So it's like I definitely like the upside for him to hit the over here as well.
Yeah, and in the last 3 weeks, if you're looking at Clyde Edwards-Helaire that he's played, he would have hit the over twice, 63, 54. So, 37 last week, but they really didn't need him as much. So I do like that call. And then the Austin Eckler, I would like it a little bit more if he is completely healthy and he's good to go. So kind of pay attention to him and see what's going on. He did leave the game in the third quarter with an injury, and I think it was an ankle or a knee. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So he's banged up a little bit. So keep an eye on that. That might be a fade, meaning I'm just not going to bet that play in this matchup. So, yeah, let's jump down to receptions. We only have 2 reception totals on the board right now. They're both Chiefs. They're both the ones that you want to know anyway, right? They're the big dogs. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, 6.5 for Tyreek Hill, 5.5 for Kelce. Either one of these a best bets for you?
Man, it's a little scary going with Kelce, man. Back-to-back games, he's had only 3 catches. He had the volume, against Denver, the Vegas, he only had 4, but it's like 3 catches back-to-back games. It's a little scary. And they're both 27 yards, by the way, which is nuts. But I'm going to lean here for Tyreek Hill to try to, bank on for him to hit this more so for the over for 6.5, because he's going to be a volume guy. And I definitely think, he could achieve it.
Yeah. And I think the narrative has always been, it's either Tyreek Hill or Kelce. It's Tyreek.
Yeah, it's Tyreek.
It's Tyreek Hill. It's not Kelce, anymore. And it's Tyreek Hill, and that's just how it is. And so I'm going to go in the over for this for Tyreek Hill and the under for Kelce. Translating over to receiving yards, we do have some props in there. So even though we don't have the reception totals, we have some yardage totals for the Chargers, which I like. Let's start with the Chiefs though. Tyreek Hill and Kelce will stay in that ballpark. Tyreek Hill 76 and a hook. Kelce 58 and a hook. Either one of those you're leaning the over, or any of you're pining the under.
Like we said, this is going to be a Tyreek Hill game, so I like the over here for the 76 and a half. I'm probably going to fade Kelce just in general. I don't want to mess up my ticket with a Travis Kelce, being that, again, it's a division game, and it's kind of like you don't know what the vibes are going to be with Travis Kelce. Is he going to have, a whole bunch of targets and only 3 catches again? It's just a little weird what's going on over there. So I'm leaning Hill.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about the Austin Eckler passing yards, receiving yards, 37 and hook? Is that enticing? That's a pretty high number for a running back, by the way, just in case I know it's Austin Eckler, but that's asking a bit there. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that's asking for a bit. Like you mentioned before, he went out in the third quarter with an ankle injury. He did return back to the game. I just don't know about this one. This one is a little, it has me on the fence of it. 37 and a hook is low for Austin Eckler, but is he 100%? So right. That's a good point you brought up.
Yeah, if he's 100%, I think it's a smash. Because he's had games this year where 61, 52, 53, 48, 60, 65, 68, 45. So all those are overs. But then in the unders, he's had a couple of games where he's getting 15, 17, 25. Well, if he's injured, it's going to be more trending towards that side. So just kind of pay attention to that. And if he's healthy, I think it's a smash. So what about the Clyde Edwards-Helaire? This is kind of tricky here. 9.5. At first I was just smash, but then, he's not always featured in the passing game. Not that they normally feature the backfield anyway, but he could pick up a target here or there and get this number. Is it too good to be true, or is it something we should kind of pass?
Yeah, you just pass on that. Don't mess with, CEH in the passing game. He's not really that guy. I just don't think that's what they focus on. So I wouldn't be trying to, sit here and gamble on that.
Yeah, we're trying to give you guys the best plays, not the get cute and risk your money plays. That's not advantageous for anybody here. So speaking of risking your money as well, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, anytime touchdown. I couldn't find if it was a designation for running or receiving. It just looked like it was a straight touchdown. Is that enticing in this matchup?
Oh man, that's kind of painful because you want to, but he only has like 2 receiving touchdowns and then 1 rushing touchdown. So it's not like, oh, I'm sorry, 3 rushing touchdowns. So it's not like he's going to be living in the end zone all crazy like that just because we saw him last week against Vegas, who give up a ton of fantasy points to running back. So nah, I'm going to fade him on this as well.
Gonna fade him. What about the receiving prop touchdowns for the Chiefs? They've got 2 of them in the books, which I like, right? You got Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. I'm leaning Tyreek Hill if I'm going to favor one of these. How about you? You going to go Kelsey or Hill if you do either one?
I'm going right back to Hill on this one. I definitely think it's more likely for him to be in the end zone than in Travis Kelsey.
Yeah. Now, I'm not that it couldn't happen, but more likely is where you want your money to be. So I think that is a more likely scenario. So, all right, I appreciate you guys sticking with us through all these picks all year. We love it. Fire content only from my man LQ.
Facts.
If you're not following him on Twitter, Real Deal Fantasy, follow him today. It's his birthday. You'll get balloons. It'll make you feel good. Cheers to my guy. Love that guy. Let's jump out of here. We're going to go into the start sit. Make sure that you like and subscribe right now on the Mayo Media Network. And then also sign up for PrizePicks MMN. Get you that $100 deposit match bonus. And then what you can do is you can just win more of that money with LQ's pick. So that's what I would do. All right, let's jump into the start sits. We have a light start sit because we have a heavy dose of injuries. COVID is running rampant. So let's jump into these start sits and then we'll roll out of here with all these injuries. All right, start sit. I got a little game flow situation here. 2 good defenses. Taysom Hill going up against the Bucks or Carson Wentz against the Pats.
Oh gosh. This is ugly.
Not my team, by the way. I want to give you a caveat. You're not helping me. This is just quarterbacks that are fringe right now, but that are on waiver wires or that can be used in these matchups. And I wonder if either one of them.
I'm gonna go Carson Wentz, man. I mean, he's a top 12 quarterback right now. I feel as though, he can get the job done for at least 1 or 2 touchdowns. Taysom Hill, man, most of his upside is on the rushing and going against the Bucks, the number 1 rushing defense. It doesn't seem likely that he'll put up the huge points that we want out of him. Highly unlikely that he gets a rushing touchdown as well. So we're kind of looking at probably a struggling game with Hill. So just give me the safer bet for the guy that can get it done in the pocket.
Yeah, no, I like that too. And then if Carson Wentz is better than Jonathan Taylor, he'll be taken out of the game plan by Bill Belichick. And since he's not better than Jonathan Taylor, he will actually have an opportunity to perform in this matchup, even though it's a good defense. I think you roll with Wentz as well. All right, let's talk about some running backs that are first-round running backs this year, maybe not next year, either one of them in fantasy. Zeke Elliott, I mean, he's still, but he's banged up a little bit. Zeke Elliott versus the Giants or Saquon versus the Cowboys. In this matchup, which one of these guys do you want to start?
I'm going to start Saquon, as crazy as it sounds, but Zeke, you got to sit based on him not being 100%. Saw him limping last game, and we already saw Corey Clement have more rushing attempts than him last game, believe it or not, which is come on, man. If you're splitting down the middle with a Corey Clement, something's wrong. And I feel as though, with Tony Pollard possibly coming back this week, hopefully, fingers crossed, I feel as though he might play a bigger role than Zeke this week as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you get signed that week and you're playing more snaps than Zeke, that's just telling. And we saw Zeke before the little 10-day break he had. He didn't look right at all. He was gimping when he was running into open field. And so, I'm going to be going with Saquon, who, even though he doesn't look tremendous and the offense is just pitiful and putrid, they don't have anybody else. There's no one. I mean, literally, there's no one else on their team. So I'm going to go with Saquon too. All right, let's talk about a team here. We got Kansas City going up against our guys over there. We talked about Mike Williams, Keenan Allen. They didn't really have any receiving props for the over under. We really didn't get a sense of that. This is a little murky, right? We got Mike Williams with a questionable tag, Keenan Allen coming back off of the COVID list. How are you approaching this? Which one of them would you be more confident starting against the Chiefs on Thursday?
I'm full sending Keenan Allen for the simple fact we saw Mike Williams be the only, veteran guy that we thought was going to be able to step up. But you have Jalen Guyton and Josh Palmer outperforming him by not a lot, but by a chunk where it's come on, man. I put in Mike Williams and didn't pick up a Josh Palmer, or I didn't pick up a Guyton, and they both put up, evenly 17 points. So it's I can't really trust Mike Williams, being that he started off hot, got cold, became serviceable, then became a ghost. So yeah, you got to go with Keenan Allen.
Yeah, I like that. Let's jump to our last one of these before we get into the injury news. And like I said, there's a shit ton of it. We got Travis Kelce. Normally, plug and play. It's the Kels, right? And maybe it's not Kelce. Travis Kelce, we'll call him that. Versus the Chargers, or the new Travis Kelce, Dawson Knox versus Carolina.
Oh man. I mean, I know we have trust issues with Travis Kelce, but you got to start your studs, man. And Chargers right now, they're giving up 10 points per game to tight end. So it's kind of like a matchup where you kind of have to, versus Dawson Knox is going up with Carolina Panthers. They're only giving up 6 points per game to tight end. So it doesn't really look like, you have to question too much here. So don't overthink it, man. Start your studs.
Start your studs from LQ Fire content only. I love it. All right, let's jump into the injury news. We've got just a little bit of injury news. The NFL has COVID. That's it. The end. Over. Don't. No, I'm kidding. Let's run through the doubtfuls and the outs. Emmanuel Sanders is questionable right now, but likely out with the knee injury. Kareem Hunt doubtful with the ankle. He's out. And then we just got COVID after COVID, right? So we've got Austin Hooper COVID, Jarvis Landry COVID, Odell Beckham COVID. He couldn't get away from COVID. He went to LA and he still got COVID, right?
Yeah.
Darrell Henderson still on the COVID list, even though maybe he doesn't have it. He wasn't activated in time, so he's going to miss next game. Alexander Madison's on the COVID list. Kadarius Toney's on the COVID list. Quez Watkins on the COVID list. So those aren't your studs. Most of them aren't, but they're still players that are going to help you win, or they were helping you win. So you got to find replacements for all of those. Anybody in that list you can think of that their backup jumps out as somebody who you want to pick up this week, or is important in this matchup that they're going to have?
Not really, man. I mean, if Austin Hooper's out, David Njoku's there.
Oh, he's out too. I forgot he's out too. He's got COVID too.
COVID attacks everybody.
Yeah, anybody you name, I'm going to tell you they have COVID. So,
then no. I mean, you're honestly screwed in the first round of the playoffs, man, with COVID just taking out everybody. If it isn't injuries, man, it's going to be COVID, and that's the time that we're in right now. And it's going to be there's in my home league. I know you guys are watching. Some of my home league guys, they watch this. Some of you do not belong in the playoffs, man, at all. It's really disgusting that you're in the playoffs just based on injuries and COVID. That's it. You got lucky. You skated by. So, yeah, that's that.
Look at you, Kevin. That's some weak sauce. Your team's terrible. I hope there's no Kevin in your league.
No. I'm not going to say names.
Yeah, I'm not going to. All right. Well, let's talk about some players whose status is up in the air. At least we know with those earlier mentioned that they're out, right? You're not going to impact your lineup by having to worry anymore. They're just done, right? They broke your heart. Yeah. It's over. They didn't go to the prom with you. Now you've got a bunch of people who could be your date, and they probably won't be. So let's run down some of these. The biggest of all, though, is MVP previously, Lamar Jackson. Oh my gosh, killing people all year. If you have him, maybe you didn't get to this point to be in the semifinals or whatever of your playoffs or the first round. So who cares? But maybe you did. What are we doing with Lamar Jackson and how this kind of is unfolded? Are you going to get this back up? Or are you just going to quit fantasy? What are you going to do with this?
I don't know. I might quit fantasy, man. They took Lamar Jackson. It's disgusting, man. Again, I didn't see the injury, but I heard he was carted off, and obviously it was serious enough. They're going to bring the card out. Rest up, man. But, us fantasy guys, it's going to be rough. It's really going to be rough.
Yeah. And I mean, I know last week Huntley was serviceable, but you can't trust him against Green Bay. I mean, don't get cute.
Ew.
Yeah, I do Taysom Hill, Carson Wentz, somebody else. Fight Tua. He was on a bye last week. Maybe somebody dropped him against the Jets. There's just other better plays. So Lamar, rest up. Now we've got a glut of ankle injuries and running back injuries. From James Conner getting an MRI on his ankle to Tony Pollard, plantar fasciitis, right? He tear the whole ligament off his bone. I don't know. Melvin Gordon thumb, DeAndre Swift shoulder, Jamal Williams COVID. There's just a litany of running backs. Damian Harris questionable, Brandon Bolden questionable, J.D. McKissic questionable, Austin Eckler questionable. So how are we looking at the running back position this week? Are we looking for anybody off the waiver wire tonight that we got to get?
I mean, to be honest, my waiver wires are kind of dry right now, running backs, but I'm going into this week, first round of the playoffs with David Johnson and Naeem Hines. That's just how bad it is right now. And I'm just, fingers crossed, they stay COVID free, even though, you can't control that, but it's something we got to deal with. We just got to pivot, and you just got to play. If they got a heartbeat, if they got a name, they got a jersey and a number, they're on your team, man. They're on your lineup.
Yeah. And hopefully we talked about Chase Edmonds getting activated last week. He did not get activated in time. He was eligible. Hopefully he gets activated and he's able to come back for the Cardinals. Also, DJ Moore dealing with a hammy day to day. TJ Hawkinson, hand, Darren Waller, knee and back. We talked about Mike Williams before. Adam Thielen is questionable. So there are some studs. There are some, top 6 round picks that you have that are not going to be available. Possibly, DeAndre Swift, the coach is hopeful. That guy,
hopeful. Yeah, whatever that means.
I mean, the guy's 1-11-1. He's always hopeful. You know what I mean? Like that coach, I would not be as hopeful as he is, but he's hopeful that Hawk and Swift will be back. But we'll see. But just up and down the board in the big matchup in the NFC East, half of Washington's defense has COVID. Jalen Hurts questionable. He's coming back. Looks like Miles Sanders coming back. So you have a bunch of different kind of situations here where teams are passing like ships in the night on COVID watch. Other teams are getting healthy. So there could be some blowouts this weekend. Stay frosty. And then, also one of my favorite players this year, Elijah Mitchell. He's got concussion too, still hasn't come back off. So, Terry McLaurin in the concussion boat as well. So just check your studs and check their backups and check their backups. We saw what Cam Sims did with that 47-yard touchdown last week. You never know when you get to the playoffs. Think about your matchups and who you need, and hopefully you can win your matchup this week, right?
Full send.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hope I didn't get COVID during this broadcast. No jokes aside. All right. Stay healthy out there. I want to know, LQ, where can people find you? Not on your birthday. I don't want to know where you're celebrating. Actually, I do. Where are you celebrating? What are you celebrating? What are you doing on your birthday? So we can all come find you and harangue you.
Well, the wife cooked a nice meal for me. And my mom came over with a cake. We're just hanging out. But this weekend, I'm definitely gonna be seeing that Spider-Man movie and just chilling, man. It's 30-30, man. I'm not going out doing anything crazy anymore. So, just hanging out and chilling.
Now, I love it. Happy birthday, LQ. Hope you have a great one and hope you have a great rest of your week, right? It's a birthday week. It's a birthday month. It doesn't end, right? It's not a one-day thing. Especially
don't celebrate Christmas. It's my birthday.
Right. Don't celebrate Christmas. It's LQ's birthday month. All right. Get your shit together. So, LQ, where can people find you and your fire content only?
Hey, man, you guys can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, of course, Real Deal Fantasy, writing over there at Downtown Rams, and, of course, on the Mayo Media, we're putting out fire content only.
I love it. Go do follow The Real Deal on all those platforms. You can find me, Nibble W Numbers, at Twitter, at Nibble W Numbers, right? Over at NibbleWNumbers.com, DFS, Cash, GPP every week, kicking it with Bo McBigtime, Bo_McBigtime, excuse me, my guy over there. Please do right now, like and subscribe. If you're not liking and subscribing, we're doing it for nothing. That's what Dave Lofgren said, right? Over there at Awesome. Like, the algorithm needs to be fed. So please feed the algorithm, get this video up in the likes and in the views, and we'll be back again. I think we got a couple more weeks of this, right, LQ? It's not over yet.
Not over, baby. We got a full send it till it's over.
Oh, I love that. Do check out all of the Mayo Media Network content over here on YouTube, on the Mayo Media Network, on Twitter. Check out Pat, check out Pete Overzet, Stepmom Lauren, all the great content. We love you over here from the Fantasy Football Picks and Bet Show. Have a great week 15 and cash. We'll see you guys next time.